Welcome, fellow Planeswalkers, to my second video. Really, that first video I tried, I was a little bit nervous, but this next one, coming at you, I'm a little bit more tame. Trying out new things. I put this deck together because of the upcoming set that we have dropping, and War of the Sparks is going to be supporting a lot of zombies and wizards. I decided to go with a wizard deck, and this wizard deck is a little bit janky, but it's effective, very effective. And this is a jump up above mono red. Mono red was easy start for beginning players. This can be your next deck above that, and it can even compete in FNMs very frequently. I've won tournaments with this deck at FNM, so I mean it's doable, and it's a lot of fun actually, especially when you get the combos off. It is hilarious. So this deck I have, I guess we're going to call it, let's go with Cinder Beam. Yeah, let's go with Cinder Beam. That's the name of the deck. It's a blue-red wizard deck. Okay, and it's based around this guy right here, Beam Splitter Mage. And this gal right here, Adelies. Now, Beam Splitter is a blue and a red. Is a wizard whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell that targets only Beam Splitter Mage. If you control one or more target creatures, copy that spell. The copy targets the chosen creature. So if we target this, let's say, with a Fervent Strike, and we got another creature out on board, not only does Beam Splitter get the effect of it, it copies the spell and it goes on to another creature. Pretty substantial, pretty good in my book. It's only a 2-drop too. Second piece is Adelies. Adelies the Cinder Wind. One generic, one red, one blue. Now, Adelies is a legendary creature, human wizard, and that's the reason the amount I run on this card is because it gets gunked up in your hand if you have a full play set of it. So I only run 2 in this deck. But whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, wizards you control get +1/+1 until the end of turn. That means every wizard on your board, okay? Which we have plenty of because our entire deck is wizards. So, we are going to start off by starting from the 1-drops all the way up into the 3-drops because our curve tops out at 3. Now, I hate blue. I hate blue. In general, I just counter draw, counter draw, counter draw, counter draw, counter draw, counter draw, draw some more, counter, 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 counter. I was never that player, but when you blend it together with certain things, it is extremely enjoyable, and I enjoy doing it. And for this deck, I went for the aggressive approach. I do have the sideboard complete with cards like Wizard Retort, Essence Scatter, Negates, Spell Pierce, stuff like that for your sideboard if you had to, but that's not the route we're going. We're going for damage quick and very hard and very lot of it. I mean, it's just blah, right to the face, So right now, I'm going to start off with the 1-drops and the creature department. G2 Lava Runner. G2 Lava Runners in basically every red deck you could think of. So, no surprise here, it is in this one. Human Wizard, as long as there are 2 or more instant and or sorcery cards in your graveyard, G2 gets +1, +0, and haste. So, it's very easy for us to dump our instant and sorceries into our graveyard, and then get in early damage with G2. Full 4 copies of G2. Next, Siren Storm Tamer. Underrated card in my opinion. Very underrated. It's a Siren Pirate Wizard. Now it has flying, but it's only a 1/1. Okay, 1-drop, 1/1 with flying. But pay a blue and sacrifice Siren Storm Tamer. Counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control. Since we're running no counters in our thing, we got a creature that does it for us, okay? Somebody tries to take out our Beam Splitter. Sack this guy. Pay 1 blue. Done. They just wasted one of their shocks. or even if they lightning strike, we could play 2 spells and it's a speed and it's survive. It's different ways to go about it. But either way, this is a good card to go into this deck because it is a creature that's a wizard that has evasion that also has that counter ability attached to it. Okay, so we're running full copies of it as well. Now we move on to the 2-drop slot, and you already seen one of them, of course, Beam Splitter, and running the full 4 of him, of course, and he's the backbone of the deck. So there's that. Now this one was hard for me because I wanted to go with Yoshiro Pyromancer very badly. I love that card. It's a shock attached to a 2/1 body for 2. But I looked at this deck and I did not play it at the time that I was playing this deck. I did play Yoshiro, but I did win tournaments with this deck, and there was so many opportunities that I thought if I played this card instead of Yoshiro, I think I would have won a lot more, So, Passwall Adept. 1 generic, 1 blue. It is attached to a 1/3 body. Now, it's a wizard, of course, like everything. Now, I'm just going to stop saying that because everything's a wizard in this deck, so no more of that. But, you tap 2 generic, 1 blue, and a target creature can't be blocked this turn. Oh my god, can you imagine? You got Wee Dragonauts out with a Beam Splitter. You crack a couple spells. You could easily get a Wee Dragonaut or a Beam Splitter up to a 10 very easily, and it's unblockable. So, we're trying to get through the damage and quickly. Passwall Adept is a good way to do it, and it's got a respectable body on it. The 2 mana, 1/3. I mean, it'll die to Lightning Strike, Lava Coils, and all that stuff, but it survives shock, and stuff like that. So, I felt it worth putting the full 4 copies of it in the deck as well. So, as far as 2-drops go into the monster department, that's it. We are moving on to the 3-drops. And that is our first one, Wee Dragonaut. Oh, I love this guy. Love him. He is 1 blue, 1 red, 1 generic. And he has flying, which is evasion again in this deck. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, Wee Dragonauts gets +2/+0 until the end of turn. Okay. So you got Beam Splitter out. You got Beam Splitter on the table. You got Wee Dragonauts on the table. You play Fervent Strike on your Beam Splitter. Beam Splitter gets pumped up to a 3/2 with First Strike and haste. You just drop Wee Dragonauts on this turn. You can give it haste as well because he targets your Beam Splitter. Then you could drop another 1-drop spell on top of it. In fact, if there's another Fervent Strike, your Wee Dragonauts is 10 with First Strike and haste with flying. Come on. Come on. It'd get over. 2 turns, done. Okay? Running full copies of it as well. Now, Adelaide's only running 2. Like I said, I've tried 3, and it seems like it gets gunked up in the hand, and we move through this deck real quick. So, don't want to get gunked up. 2 copies of Adelaide's. But, I mean, the flying, the haste, and all your wizards get +1/+1 when you cast instant or sorcery. That's very relevant, and it can pack a punch when you drop enough on there. Now, that is it for our creature base. So we're going to move on to spells. And we got a total of 6 1-drops in the spell department. First one you've already seen is Fervent Strike. 2 copies of it, and Instant Speed, which really we want to drop a Wee Dragonauts on our turn, then play this on a Beam Splitter, trigger, and yada yada. So, gives it +1 and First Strike and haste until the end of turn. There's no reason to play Maximum Velocity because you lose Maximum Velocity. It doesn't give it a buff. You got to discard a card out of your hand to play it again. I mean, it's a good card, and it could run in this deck. But, in my opinion, Fervent Strike is a way better choice. So we're running two of them. Next one drop that we have is Curious Obsession. We're running two of these as well. This is kind of like our card draw engine. We are in an evasion deck and quick damage deck. So we attach this. It's an enchantment for one. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 has. Whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. At the beginning of your end step, if you didn't attack with a creature this turn, sacrifice Curious Obsession. Now, the downside is, of course, you got to attack with it every single turn, but you drop this card on a Storm Tamer that has flying, or We Dragonauts that has flying. It is very easy to get that damage through, even an early jump with G2 Lava Runner, and it generates card draw, and we need card draw on this, so we're running two of them. Okay, we're moving on to let's see, is that the third? No. Yeah, this is the third one drop of the spells. Okay, Crash Through. A couple different options I could have went with, but Crash Through seemed like the logical choice. It's what I've always ran in it. 2 copies of it. One drop. Sorcery Speed. Creatures you control gain trample until the end of turn, and you draw a card. Now, let's say they do get a way to block one of our flyers. Let's say if they have something decent body on the ground, all of a sudden we can buff up our dudes and get over for damage. Trample in the air. The majority of what you're going to be seeing is tokens and spirits. The current deck I'm running right now is Orzhov Afterlife, which creates 1/1 spirits. And if they try to block, even if they block with 4 1/1 spirits, and you got We Dragonauts out, you play Crash Through, you get a draw card, it gets buffed up to a 3, you play another one on top of, another spell on top of it, it gets bumped up again, now it's a 7, so I mean, you're getting your damage through, and getting rid of all their creatures at the same time, so running two of them. Moving on to the 2-drop spells. We're running 3 copies of Sure Strike. Sure Strike, is 2-drop, instant speed. Target creature gets +3 and gains first strike until the end of turn. Okay, first strike is also very important in this deck. Obviously, a lot of these pumps that give to our creatures is +1/+0, +3/+0. We want that first strike ability to light them up first, okay? And playing it on a Beam Splitter, going into an Adeliz, or anything else We Dragonauts, it gets bananas quick, And we got plenty of mana to do it. Like I said, this is a low count deck. Our top end is 3 people, okay? Our lands we will get, and we'll have card engine draws to be able to play spell after spell after spell. So we're running 3 copies of Sure Strike. Next, we are running Run Amok. Now, Run Amok is another way to get our damage over and get it through quickly. Target creature, and this is the instant speed as well, so you can play it on your opponent's turn. Target attacking creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until the end of the turn. Well, I say instant speed. You don't want to play it on your opponent's turn. Obviously, you want to play it on our turn. Duh. Battle Cat, what are you doing? Can't you read a card? I'm sorry. It's late. I already made one video, and then I decided to wait to post this one. But anyway. So, this gives our creatures trample. So, they have their guys that can block in the air. So what? We can drop this, got trample. So, even if they got Death Touch guys, you drop this with a Sure Strike on it, or this and a Fervent Strike on it. You got first strike and trample. So you're going to kill the Death Touch guy and still get over for damage. 4 copies of it. Easy breezy, right? But we did not run not a single counter in this deck at all. So instead of going with Shock, which is it's a good choice, Instead of going with Lightning Strike, we are of course going to go with Wizard Lightning, which is basically just 3 to the face for 1, because you're never not going to have a wizard on board. But even if you didn't have a wizard on board, you just need to get 3 damage through. This is it. Okay. 2 generic mana, 1 red. This spell costs 2 less generic mana if you control a wizard, which we will, more than likely. Wizard's Lightning deals 3 damage to any target. So, kill off a guy, punch him in the face, buffs up our guys, gets triggers. I mean, that in itself is pretty fun. Now, this deck, since it had such a low, and I'm building it budget style. Now, obviously, if you want to run this, you need to pick up Sulphur Falls, which are the check lands, and then you need to pick up your shock lands. But this is budget build, so we are going to do a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mountains, 3 Highland Lakes, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blue. And apparently a mountain, because I miscounted. Okay, but that's what we're running. So, total of 21 lands. That's plenty for this deck. You can actually cut it down to 20 if you wanted to, but 21 lands is a relatively good number. And, like I said, I played this right before the guilds, I believe, yeah. Right when guilds dropped out, I started playing this. I've seen a lot of the Drake's decks and everything like that, and everybody was net decking it and just copying it. And I was like looking at Beam Splitter, and I was like, why is nobody taking advantage of that card? That card has potential. It's pretty sick. And in the right deck and the right speed and everything like that, it could work very well, and it happened to. I took down Drake decks with this. Played recently even against Golgari mid-range. Still being able to fly over and punch them in the face hard was working, so it worked out really well. This coming up FNM is going to be a modern event, and I will be taking you through the process of the deck that I'm going to be taking to this modern event. It's a simple $10 entry fee tournament, and I'll probably be going to be running, more than likely, going to be running a version of 8-Whack Goblins. And I said a version of it. And as you know, I don't net deck, so I'm going to take y'all through the process of the deck that I am building. And I will take you to the tournament itself, and hopefully we'll get to see some action and some results, and we'll hopefully pick up the win. So, but I'm still new to this, guys, on doing this YouTube stuff, so, bear with me. I'm trying, really trying. I love the game. I just want to get knowledge out there, and it'd really mean a lot if you could hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. It's okay. And leave a comment down below at what you would like to see me do. A budget deck, or even any deck that you can think of. Just any kind of anything that you can think of. Drop it down below, and I'll try to do it. I like to think I'm relatively good. I've competed at multiple. I've moved like 4 times in the last year, and at every shop that I've been to, every local tournament that I've been to, I've never been out of the top 8, not once. So I like to think I know what I'm doing. These janky brews are pretty cool. They're fun. I don't always take them to the events, but sometimes I do, and sometimes they work out pretty well. But just a side note, some of the spoilers coming out for War of the Sparks, the cards that I'm most excited about, I actually got wrote down. Ashiot, Oath of Kaya, and Blast Zone. Blast Zone is going to be, I think that's one of the best spoilers that I've seen so far. Blast Zone, that land is just going to, it's going to be nasty. I do think that that's going to find a place in Standard, and so will Kaya's Oath is 3 to the face. It's a legendary enchantment. It's 3 drop. 3 to the face, you get 3 life. And whenever your opponent tries to attack a planeswalker that you control, they get dealt 2 damage. I mean, it's going to see play, obviously, because there's going to be a lot of planeswalkers coming out. So, but until then, guys, please, please, please hit that sub button for your man Battle Cat, okay? Look. I mean, how can you say no to this face? Please? No, I ain't packing that bad, but seriously, I would really like to hear y'all's thoughts and comments. Drop them down below, and I will get to them, I promise you. And we'll be doing, eventually, once we get the ball rolling, we'll be doing some giveaways, you know, bigger tournaments, stuff like that. We'll get some stuff set up. But until then, guys, Battlecat is out. Please join the Battlecat clan, and let's take it to these people. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to put a GoPro on my head and take you to these tournaments and go through a lot of stuff. And I've actually got some more stuff wrote down on some ideas that I will be doing for my videos. First 3 are deck techs. But I was wanting to do most annoying habits of what I experience when I go to the FNMs. Most annoying habits that I see, or that I even do myself. Deciding what kind of player you are. That's an important thing in Magic. Knowing rules and etiquette, and the difference between competitive players and casual players, and how they go about doing things. Preparing for a tournament and an FNM. You know, stuff like this I'm planning on covering. So until then, guys, please hit that sub button. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'm sorry I rambled on, but I really, really love this game, and it's been a big part of my life, and sharing it with everybody else I want to do. And it don't matter that if I ever get a subscriber, I still enjoy doing this and getting people to see it. So thank you, God bless, and hopefully I'll see y'all next time with some subs on there and with some comments on there on what y'all think I can do better, what y'all would like to see. Alright, guys, peace out. Hope you enjoy it.